Alright guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the Hydro Boost lines on a second gen Cummins. This is a 99 Dodge Ram 2500, and it has Hydro Boost, which basically is this. This is your brake master cylinder, and back here is your Hydro Boost cylinder, I guess you would call it. And basically it provides power for your brakes from the power steering pump. And on this truck, it's got 300 and something thousand miles, and you can see these lines are pretty moist with power steering fluid, and that's because even though you can't see it when the truck's running, power steering fluid will just seep out of everywhere on these lines. I mean, everywhere. There's no cuts or abrasions. They're old. So we're going to be replacing those today. Tools required for this job is going to be a 7/8 and an 18, and as well as your new lines. I got these at the Gates, and this one's Edelman or something like that. I got these online. They're like $40 something for both lines. So yeah, as well as an assortment of extra wrenches in case we need them. So the first thing is, one line comes from the pump to the Hydro Boost, and the other line goes from the Hydro Boost to the steering box. And it's gonna be kind of hard to see, but down there, you just follow the line, and you'll see it turns into a metal hard line and goes into the steering box. I'm gonna undo that side first. That way any residual fluid will drain out before I unhook it up here, so I don't get power steering fluid on electrical connectors and all this other kind of stuff. So yeah, it should be an 18, and let's do it. Alright guys, so you can see a hard line up in there. If you'll notice, you got these transmission lines and the steering box in your way to get a wrench up. So you put it over this one, and it's an 18, and you make to spin the wrench a certain way to get it. I already broke this one loose, and it'll go on there, and you just break it loose, and you gotta turn it a little bit at a time. And you just loosen that one up until it's fully loose, and you can pull that hard line out, and then we'll go to the top and take that one off. Just be ready for fluid to come out, especially if you still have fluid in your system. Most of this fluid's already been drained, so I'm not worried about that too much. Also, eye protection is a pretty good idea. Yeah, it's just a pretty good idea. You can pull this metal hard line out. That's free. Here comes the fluid. We'll just get some residual key litter going. And that's all we can do for that. Alright, so basically I unscrewed that one by hand, that hard line. It's loose, and I can slide the collar up on it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is our new line that goes from the Hydro Boost to our pump, and basically this is an 18, and broke that loose, and I basically unthreaded this by hand and slid this up. And you can tell there's an O-ring on right here on this flare. There's going to be another O-ring up here, I believe. Now we're going to take our 7/8 and come up here, and it's going to be this one that goes to the pump, or the power steering box. We'll take our 18 and basically break that loose. Alright, so now we got our 7/8 and our 18, and just collar, hard line, and we want to rotate this one like that, break it loose, and this little collar is just going to move because this is just a flared hard line. So basically just undo that. It looks like it's about done backing out. tools in our tool tray. There it comes. There it is. Right there. This line is free and should just be able to fish it up. There you go. There it is. It's all gritty and everything else, and that O-ring's pretty shot. So there's one. Kind of put it over here. Just throw it on that tarp. And yeah, so if you'll notice, right here, there's an O-ring. Right there. And basically we're going to take that off and replace it with a new one, which is supplied with the new hoses. And I think I can get it with my thumbnail. There it is. There we go. Also, if you look on the old one, you can tell where the O-ring was on this one. See how bad shape that one was in? That was really bad. Basically, you're just going to put these new O-rings. I already got one on here. And put the other one on the metal hard line in the truck, just like that. Well, trick is you get it on one lip and you kind of roll it over. There it is, just like that. And you can see how this works. You got that collar and it's double flared, looks like. Then you got this O-ring and the new hose slides on here. You tighten this down, tighten down the steering box, and we'll be ready to change the other one out. Alright, so that's one new line on. So you got new one, and this is actually a 1-inch size, and this is a 7/8 for the old. And new line goes all the way down to the steering box, and it's tightened up. That was an 18mm. Be sure to put your O-rings on both sides, and not to over tighten them, but definitely get them snug. And yeah, so this one's good to go. And then for this side, we're going to take it off the bottom of the power steering pump down there. And if you should, again, just follow the line. It's going to go down to a hard line. It's going to curve around, go into the back of the power steering pump towards the bottom. And that's going to be an 18mm. So you undo that fitting and let that fluid drain. In the meantime, while it's draining, we're going to come up here and undo this fitting and take the line out and put the new one in. Alright, so got the other line unhooked from the power steering pump. And I'm hooking this line up here, and we're going to feed it out, put the new one in, and clean out the system. Well, not clean out the system, but replace it with new fluid. Go on that. Come on. Maybe wiggle this line a little bit to help. There it comes. There we go. Had to put a little pressure on it and pull. Help get it unhooked. And we got our fluid draining right now at the bottom, so I might try to help prevent that by getting it out. Alright, and there's the old one. We have another O-ring right here. You're just going to take it off by hand. So there's our two O-rings right there. I'll go ahead and take one and place it on this end. Make sure there's no crap on it. Boom. I'm going to take this other one and put it on the truck, just like we did on the other side. Go ahead and we'll feed this in. And yeah. So basically we'll feed this back through here, down below those guys. And we're going to go ahead and not tighten up, but simply put some threads on this side. That ought to be enough. And then we'll climb up here in order to reach this bottom side of this pump better. And there it goes. Okay, that's on. And hold this, take our 18 and snug this down. That'll be good. Like I said, I'm not trying to over tighten it, just to get it nice and snug, and with a long wrench like that, it don't take that much force. Because you get leverage. Now climb back up here. I love tall trucks, but sometimes it gets to you, and the hard part is taking the 18mm and tightening up the other one on the back of the pump. Okay, so it's on there. So we're hooked up, and now we're just going to add fluid and get the air out of these lines and out of the system. Basically, take this out, set it up here, then we're just going to add fluid, crank it up, and turn it lock to lock, and that'll bleed the air out. I don't know, I just test drove it, and up around the 2000 RPM mark, it's still making the same high-pitched whistling noise. So I think it might be the actual hydro boost actuator. But we'll just keep an eye on the fluid and drive it and see. So just like that, guys.